I get one conversation, that would be me. We have a full house tonight, and as you see, we have all 9 candidates, including our candidate from Skype. So it's going to take some time tonight to get through these questions, but we all have the time because this is important enough. I want to start by saying thank you to everyone, especially the sponsoring organization. I am the president of the chapter of the year for the Syracuse National Action Network. We were co-sponsored by Parents for Public Schools, Alliance of Communities Transforming Syracuse, Central New York Solidarity Coalition, Syracuse Community Connection, Southwest Community Center, and Greater Syracuse Hope Initiative. Can you give your sponsoring organization a hand? We have a timekeeper who is walking around with a white sheet in her hand. She will notify all candidates of their answers when they get it 30 seconds and when time is up. And she's sitting in the first row. Now most of you all know me, so you know I don't mind interrupting. But I wanted to just say to you, welcome on behalf of all the sponsoring organizations. And I want to introduce you to our moderators for this evening. The first moderator is someone that we all know and love dearly, especially those of us on the Southside, on the South Ave corridor, and those of us that frequent the Southwest Community Center. But citywide, the contribution that Sharon Owens makes to the city of Syracuse is remarkable. It's unbelievable. Her tireless long nights, staying away from her loved ones, the traveling, all culminates into us being able to gather in a place like this, feel safe and secure because of her efforts. Sharon Owens, if you could come to the stage, please. Talana Jones, who is joining us shortly. She will be co-hosting with Sharon. Talana is the co-chair for the NAN's Education Committee, and without her, some of the things that we do around the State Attorney General and the AOD, the Code of Conduct, making sure that citizens are participating in all aspects of the school, having a voice in your schools is something that we appreciate from her. We also have another candidate coming to the stage, and as I give the microphone to Sharon, and as we get situated, she's going to go over some house rules and some ground rules. They are all inside of your packet, your program. And I would just say that we have refreshments over here in the corner. There's chips and water for anybody that wants it, as well as, I just want to say this much. This is a forum. It is not a debate. We are to be respectful of one another and respectful of all questions, because everyone here and every question is important, just as important as the next. So I would say that while we don't want to stop anyone from asking a question, if the question becomes a targeted question that has no basis, it might have basis for you, but for helping the overall group, if we're going to target someone, it's going to be stopped. Is that okay with everybody? Without further ado, Sharon Owens and Talana Jones.
Welcome everyone, welcome to the Southwest Community Center in the Southside of Syracuse. This organization and managing this city-owned building, I made it my mission that every important discussion that's going to happen regarding our community, you're not going to pass by these groups. We've had some important discussions going on in this community, from the creek walk to consolidation, and we are here again and having a very important series of Q&A about who's going to be our next mayor. Important or not? Agree? Very important conversation. So with that, we're going to stay on task. What we're going to do is spend about an hour with some questions that we have for each candidate, all of the candidates together. They have 2 minutes. Give them a little more time. Timekeeper's on clock. She's on ready. We also are going to, and I'm working out some more fans. Believe it or not, the air is working, but I'm glad it's hot in here because that means we packed the house.
Right on.
So 2 minutes, and then for about an hour. Then the second half, there were index cards when you came in. You are to fill in the index card. The way we're conducting this is that we will read the index card and ask the person who wrote it to please stand, to be recognized for your question. If in any way or shape there's a feeling that we need to just elaborate on it, we'll give a person an opportunity to just ask a quick question, 30 seconds, because you asked the question. There's a lot of people in here and a lot of questions, okay? So please respect the way we want to set things up. Trust us, we got you.
All right.
Let's get going. Each candidate was given one prep question, and that prep question Kalana will begin with, and it is also their introduction. You know all these folks, we don't have time for all that. Okay?
Good afternoon. As Sharon said, my name is Talana Jones. It is so exciting to see you all here tonight. While she gave the audience instructions, I want to give our candidates instructions. Your 2 minutes are your 2 minutes. Choose them wisely. I hope that you focus on the question and not debating one another, because folks are out here to hear your answers to the actual question. So this is not the moment, in my opinion, to take time to debunk something that someone else has said, but to think about the community that's listening to you and your actual answer. And so with that, as Sharon mentioned, you all have received this question, so we are going to have everyone answer. Identify one strategy you will implement to stimulate job-creating business development in the city of Syracuse. And for this time, we can start with Juanita.
Good evening. Wow, what a crowd. And I'm so honored to be here tonight. Thank you very much for taking this, as important it is for the entire city, for us to be here and for us to be asked questions about what's happening in this city. When I'm your mayor, I am going to be a mayor for everyone. Not just a certain neighborhood, not for those who are privileged, and certainly not based on anyone's last name. I will be a mayor for everyone. All of you who represent community organizations understand what that means. When government fails, you take over. You have to care. You don't get to pick the people that you work with. That opportunity was provided to me. Someone told my mother about Head Start, about free school lunches, about that horrible cheese we all ate. That was community service for me, and why I'm in this, and why I'm in this for everyone. Because it's not about merging governments, it's not about more police, more suspensions, raising taxes. It's about caring about our neighborhoods, the dignity of people, and what was paid to me. I'm a former lieutenant commander in the United States Navy. I know how to manage effectively. We'll get it done, but we'll do it with dignity and caring. The game changer for this city in job development is Interstate 81. We are not talking about the opportunity for job development, not just construction, but the small business, the food vendors, the paper businesses, anything that requires require supporting a $2.5 billion project, we need to be talking about now, not waiting for the state and federal government to define it for us. That is going to be a game changer. That is my plan to immediately hit the ground running. As you know, I have the only 100-day plan already put together with 70 initiatives. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to serve, and I'm ready to be there for everyone. Thank you.
All right.
So I'm going to issue a reminder. The 30-second paper, the white paper, the first time is 30 seconds until your end. The last white paper is 5 seconds into your end. We're going to ensure that we have 2 minutes because it's a lot of y'all. Okay? All right. Okay. Ben Walsh.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. My name is Ben Walsh. I am the only independent candidate for mayor.
Woo!
The question that was asked was, how do we stimulate business development in the city? Well, I'd like to think I know a little bit about that. I spent 6 years as the city's business development director. During that time, I developed a proven track record of helping businesses. I'm not saying I created the jobs myself, helping businesses and entrepreneurs in this community to create jobs. I think back to a moment where I sat right upstairs in this room with Sharon and a number of businesses right here on South Ave. They came to us and they said, we need investment. We need the government to be our partner. We want to create jobs. We want to invest in our properties. We need your help. In response to that, I brought the right people together. I brought the right resources together. We created a mainstream program for South Ave. We made investments in the True Pub. We made investments in B&B Lounge. We made investments in the brand new price right that we have right down the street, which has been a great addition to the neighborhood. I have a proven track record of helping to get things done. In order to create more business development and more jobs, we need to remove barriers in this community. There are many barriers to doing business. You start with working with existing businesses. There's a lot of red tape in the city, confusing permitting issues and zoning issues, and make it really hard for average, ordinary people to make investments and grow their business. I developed a strong track record of eliminating that red tape in the city, and I'm going to continue where I started as mayor. There are also barriers related to culture and language. There are a lot of people in this community who speak English as their second language, and they do not have the appropriate resources at the city to help them to grow their business. That's a barrier that I will remove as mayor. Minority and women-owned business enterprises. We need to do more to support minority and women-owned business enterprises in the city of Syracuse to grow business in the city of Syracuse. And finally, we need to do a better job of connecting people to jobs. That has to do with transportation, and in that regard, I'm going to support public transportation. We're going to make our city more walkable and bikeable. But more importantly, I'm going to bring jobs to the neighborhoods. I'm going to identify properties in the neighborhoods, bring investment and jobs back to the people. Thank you.
Thank you. Joseph McLevy.
First of all, it's great to be back here. I remember back when I was first on the council, the day we broke ground to build this center, and the excitement. And Sharon, you're doing a great job, and this community center is flourishing tremendously. I'm glad this is the opening question of this debate or candidates forum, because this is what my campaign has been about since day one. It is only through economic development for all people, that represents all people and allows all people to participate as our community are going to grow. In the early 1980s, I wrote the first MVE-WBE ordinance. We met a lot of resistance then. Today, though, I'm proud to say, Councilor Helen Hudson, Councilor Clid Bay, myself, unanimously, we even strengthened that ordinance more to set the goals as well as the quotas that we want to see kept. But let me tell you, economic development and the opportunities it provides starts and ends with the mayor. The mayor has to be the leader. The mayor has to be in the forefront to tell any developer that if they're going to build in this city, it doesn't happen without community benefits. With our community benefits, jobs for everyone. Jobs for everyone, no matter what sector of the city we live in. This is just the beginning of many changes which I intend on implementing. But I can promise you this, I have shown in the past, and I will continue to show, as I've already been lobbying the state DOT, Commissioner Driscoll and the staff, about having an active MEWB program for Route 81. It is important, if we are going to grow as a city, we all know the pains we're having, that we need to provide economic opportunities for everyone in this room and everyone that wants to work. And I am committed to building a better Syracuse through that. Thank you.
Before you start, Martin, I just want to make a quick announcement to the audience. If you have a Toyota Silver, your lights are on. The license plate is ANX2687. Your lights are on your car. You don't get extra time like that. Martin, please go ahead.
Thank you, and it's a great introduction because I don't drive a Toyota, I drive an American car because I believe in things that are made here. So I'm so happy for this question because I think economic development can help solve a lot of the ills of the city of Syracuse, and we all know what they are. Our crime rates are well above where they should be. Our poverty rates are well above where they should be. And of course, unemployment is higher than it should be. So in order to create effective economic development, we have to have leaders who are willing to collaborate and cooperate with other elected officials. And I think I've demonstrated that throughout my history with my 4 years on the city council, my 4 years on the county legislature, now I'm in my 6th year as city auditor. I've only had a lot of successes at those governments, especially as I see Legislator Irvin here in Williams. They know to have success in the county legislature, you have to be able to work across party lines and with other government officials, and that's how we're going to solve the problems of Syracuse. But first and foremost, I believe obviously 81 is a gigantic project. Other businesses will spin off from that project. We will have great economic development opportunities. I'm willing to support those with incentives like pilot agreements only when they create jobs. We have a fabulous downtown with now downtown residential, but not enough permanent jobs have been created. So if we're hiring folks, we have to strengthen our work together with the city council to make sure that we have our local hiring ordinance in place so that the people who are working on these projects comes right out of our neighborhood. Those are the jobs we need that will then help solve those issues. You're less likely to commit a crime when you can pay your bills. You're obviously out of poverty if you're able to pay your bills. And jobs really are the root to a lot of our problems. And I vow that I will be the mayor to help create the most. Thank you.
Next up is Laura Levine.
Hi, Laura Levine. Good evening, everybody. Thanks for being here. I'm looking at job development in 3 different ways. Number one, if we want jobs to come to Syracuse, we have to make Syracuse more attractive to businesses. The way to make Syracuse more attractive to businesses is to ensure that our city is safe and to ensure that our schools are higher achieving and that we reduce the burdensome regulations that businesses are facing. When we have small business owners who have to deal with burdensome regulations, for example, through codes enforcement, if they have to spend a half a day or a full day dealing with the city about the dimensions of the sign in their business, they're not outgrowing and promoting their business. We have to reduce the regulations and the burdens that they're facing in terms of existing businesses and ways to bring more businesses into the city. Number two, our crime rate is out of control. Everywhere I go, people are talking about crime. We had a record homicide rate. 2016, 30 people died on our streets. Our 31 with the recent solve. Our homicide solve rate is among the lowest in the state of New York. We have the highest concentration of poverty among Hispanics and African Americans of any city in the country. The Brookings Institute just ranked us 100 out of 100 cities dead last for economic growth of metropolitan areas our size. 60% of Syracuse City school districts are graduating on time with their cohort. It's not acceptable. Our schools are not safe. We need to reduce burdensome regulations for businesses. We need to sound a clarion call to bring the entire community together to work to improve the Syracuse City School District. And we need to fully deploy our police force, which is down a significant percentage in less than a decade. And it's not matched by any decrease in our population. Three-pronged approach that will bring jobs to Syracuse. Thank you.
And just because we're 5 people in, I just want to remind folks of the question that is on the table. The question that is on the table is identify one strategy you will implement to stimulate job-creating business development in the city of Syracuse. Okay? So, up next, Chris. No, Howie's going last, but thank you.
Oh, okay.
Chris.
How y'all doing tonight? Everybody having fun? Not yet, but you're going to, I'm sure. Thank you all for being here. As you know, this is an important election year. And it's an honor to be up here with folks who care a lot about the city like I do. And all of you came out today because this is an important issue or important discussion to have going into the election. And no more important question is there than how do we create a more thriving